everybody! Today's Operation Boredom is brought to you by my birthday. And so, for my birthday, because I've been teaching for 21 years, that means I'm on the older side of teaching. My gift is going to be to you, and this is my gift. I'm going to get you through those important meetings or when you have to get a task done for your boss and you have kids at home and you're trying to do both. It is a hard, impossible task. So I brought my thinking from being a single parent when I had to go on long trips with my son when he was very young. We started doing this when he was like 2 years old, and I needed to get to long places, and I'm driving and I can't help him, but he needs to stay happy and calm. And I always believe our trip began and when we got in the car, so I wanted him to enjoy the actual trip and not be miserable. So here are my tricks and tips to get you through a meeting. No one's going on a long trip right now, but the same things apply. How can you give yourself some sanity and peace? So one of the things I hear all the time is, you are so lucky that your son ... And I used to just smile and say, yes, I'm so lucky to have a son that ... But the truth of the matter is, all those times when someone told me I was lucky because my son ... is because I spent time ahead of time planning out and setting us both up for success. Taking a bit of time before something important or something you need focus for will set you both up for a positive experience and then genuine positive time afterwards. So here it is. Sit back and take it all in. So as we get started, the first thing you need to remember is with any good plan, it can go haywire and out the window. They're kids, they're unpredictable. These things have worked for me, not just with my son, but in many situations working with kids all over the entire year, both when I was in the classroom, as a librarian, as a parent, in all situations. But every child is unique and different, and you'll find what works for you, and give yourself a break when it comes to it all. Your kids always come first, and most places are really understanding that right now. The other thing to remember is we seem to think that kids bother us when we're on the phone, when we're in a meeting. All of a sudden, they need us when we are busy. And that's not the case. The truth is, they're needing you that way all the time. It's just that you're paying attention to it more when you need them to go away. They need you like that all the time. You just have a crossing of paths right now of two very demanding jobs coming together at one time. So they aren't doing anything differently than they always do. You just can't access them at that moment, and they're not used to that. So here's how it works. Let me scroll down a little bit. So here's how it works right here. I try to plan tasks that will last about 5 to 10 minutes. Even with older kids, that's about their attention span. If you find a zinger that works amazing and it goes longer, fantastic, write that one down. But what might last a half hour this time might last 5 minutes next time. Something that only lasts 5 minutes this time might last 30 minutes another time. So 5 to 10 minutes is a gift. And then plan enough tasks that get you through triple the time that you think you're going to need. So I usually do double, triple the amount of activities I think I'll need, and then I can use them again later if I don't use them. My next tip is to wrap each of the tasks in tissue paper, newspaper, paper bags. Make it seem like a present. Everyone likes a present. It gives more excitement to the task that you're doing, and it takes a little time to unwrap it, so it buys you a little bit more time. I don't show all of my surprises at once. So if you take a look at this bullet, you want to hide all of the items in a bag near you so that they don't see them, and only give them the one on your desk. As soon as they go to do that task, then you can go ahead and pull out the next one, put it on your desk so you're ready for them. But if they know there's a bag filled with goodies, they're going to just want the bag, and you don't want that, or the plan will go haywire. You want to have a second bag filled with snacks because kids are always hungry. This is also like a task because it takes time to eat those items. I wrap these like presents too, and I tell them they're level up snacks. They'll make them level up and have more power for this focus time. And he never questioned what leveling up would do. If he ate his snacks without complaint, he earned a screen time ticket. I'm going to tell you about those tickets in a minute. And I always put in things I knew he liked, but I could live with and took some time to eat, like goldfish, Cheerios, grapes if they're older, peanut butter, crackers, pretzel rods or small pretzels. And this always bought me time as well. If you have one of those kids who's always, even though they're doing a task, they still are demanding your attention, then lay out a blanket or get some painter's tape and make a circle and have them in that. And when they're in that, it's a non-disturbing zone. I'm in mine, and you can put yourself in a circle wherever your computer is or where your workspace is. When you're in your circle, they cannot disturb you with noise. When they're in their circle, they can't make noise to disturb you. So the younger they are, the closer they probably need to be, but older kids can be working in a quiet zone somewhere else. And this is how they earn those completion tickets and those special tickets that we'll talk about. Different kids need different levels of structure. You can use this as any kind of behavior management tool, but remember, this is when you need structure and incentive to get you through something very important, like a meeting, like getting a task done for your boss, a phone call. So having something in place sets you up for success. How this works is they get 1 ticket equals 1 minute of screen time or 1 minute of whatever their favorite thing is afterwards that you set up ahead of time so that they know what to expect. If you don't have anything that is a ticket, you can use a popcorn kernel in a tub, and those equal a minute. Anything that you have on hand, don't go crazy spending time making something unless that's your thing and you want to do it and you'll find enjoyment doing that. So things that you can give tickets for is a ticket could be for a task completion. It can be a cleanup ticket that they cleaned up the last task properly. It can be that they finished a snack ticket so that they're not complaining about their tasks. It's that maybe they're working quietly, and so you just come and you give them an extra ticket for working quietly. Was kind to a sibling ticket, no interruptions ticket, kindness ticket, anything that you can think of that they're doing that you want them to do, they can earn a ticket for. I never took tickets away because they earned them and I wanted them to keep them. But if they were going to lose a ticket, that means their behavior's way off. That means even my mom's stank face, my you better fix it face, isn't working. If that isn't going to work at this moment, it doesn't matter if you take it away, because if you take something out, they're just going to scream at you and it's going to cause more disruption. And so my son always knew that if his behavior was way off task and we were either in public or we were at a time when it was very difficult for me to deal with his behavior, he knew that this one thing would always happen. And this is what worked for me. You may find what works for you. I wouldn't put him in timeout because that always led to an argument and I'd have to get him there. And that was a whole nother thing. I would always have a garbage bag on hand. And I would go and however disruptive his behavior is, I would go to his favorite thing first. And that thing, video game, I don't care what it is, would go in that garbage bag. And if he didn't calm his behavior, things would keep going into this timeout garbage bag until he fixed his behavior and realized that he needed to make a choice whether those things were of value to him or if his behavior was of the most value to him. And as I'm putting things in, he knows every item that goes into that bag. In order for it to get out, he would have 1 month to do an act of kindness in order for something to come out of that bag. And after a month, he did not complete that task of kindness to get something out of the bag that made up for his disruption or his inappropriate behavior, it would go in the trash. And he knew me well enough to know that I was a woman of my word, and if I said something was going to happen, it was going to happen. This is a gift. Putting kids, and there were times when he would be put in timeout when I could properly manage it and I had the time to put him in a timeout or get him there. But when you are in a situation, often in public, and you are at a place where it requires restraint and calmness, and it's very difficult to handle something in that way, an online meeting, this is something that will quickly, usually, get that behavior in check. Now, I'm not talking about your child's having an emergency and needs you. If your child is bleeding, is having some kind of an accident, is truly in distress, that's not what this is. We're talking inappropriate behavior. If your child truly needs you, excuse yourself from your meeting and deal with it. Your child needs to come first. But if it is inappropriate behavior, this is a good way to get it in check quickly. Now, let's get to the fun stuff. Now that we have that structure created, let's get to the tasks that you can do. You do not want to do all of these at once. Do not get overwhelmed. Use a piece of each one of these each time, and that way you always have this deep bucket of activities that you can use. So let's start right here with some free play with, and most of the things that I've picked for this, I have a lot of elaborate things that I've purchased from fancy places. That's not what this is. This is things we probably have at home or can get easily during this quarantine time. So, aluminum foil. Aluminum foil is an amazing thing that you can use with your kids. So you can do aluminum foil sculpture. So I'm going to click here, and you can see that you can make, it doesn't matter what their age are. This can be very, very young to very, very old. You can do task cards with them, as with anything. Tell them you want some fancy jewelry for after your meeting to wear at dinner tonight. Tell them that whatever it is, you can put a task card, you can put a few pictures or a picture like this if they need a little more guidance to see what you're talking about. But what's nice is this is reusable, so they can actually put this out, and then you can use it for later unless they want to keep it. You can reuse the aluminum foil at a later time. The other thing you can do that are reusable, last a long time, and are hours of fun are pipe cleaners. And so pipe cleaners, let's go ahead and open this one. And you can see that with the pipe cleaner, you can make lots of fun things, very easy to more elaborate. You can make people and then they can have them go. There are lots of fun things that you can make with a pipe cleaner. You can make little animals. They can get as creative as they want. The other thing that is fun to do, and it works on fine motor, is you can get Cheerios or Fruit Loops and have them string it. And again, they can make jewelry for you or for themselves that become a snack afterwards. So this can be a 2-in-1. The next thing I want to tell you, and this is way bigger than you think if you don't know, when you know, is red Solo cups or any kind of plastic cups. I always have, now that my son's 15, I don't need to keep a lot of toys around my house. In my upper cupboard, when little kids come over, red Solo cups. And all of the kids, my 15-year-old still loves doing this. And so they can build with them. And so you can see here that I have a student who at my school that needed a little time and earned an extra reward. And so here he is stacking things up, and that is great. But here at this site, there are 12 great games to play that are super easy for your kids to follow or that you can put on task cards, as well as some at this. These were just two really great sites that gave you some ideas for what to do with the cups and to give you a visual of what it looks like. So red Solo cups, most people have them on hand. Next thing, scavenger hunts. So you can have alphabet scavenger hunts. You can have them find something in the bedroom that starts with an A, and all you have to do is hold up an A card for the younger kids. For older kids, you can actually just make a sheet with all the letters of the alphabet in a grid, and they can color things so they are not coming back and forth. But if you have a younger kid, then you can just have the letters on a card and you can hold them up in front of you, and you just hold up A, and they bring you something with an A and put it in a bucket. You hold up a B, they bring it up with a B and they put it in the bucket. And then what's great is if you do, once they're done with that task, then you can go ahead and give them one of those tickets. But to clean it up, you can go ahead and have them put it back and give them a ticket. So it's all cleaned up when you're done too, and it takes more time with the cleanup tickets. And if you have an extra camera around, you can even have them take pictures go find all the blue things, take pictures of them. So you can do the scavenger hunt however you want. Scavenger hunts are great. And then we have Lego boxes. So if you have Lego boxes with task cards, you can get little tubs and just put a certain amount, or you can have a basket full of Legos and then just give them task cards to do. Don't give them all the task cards at once. You want to leave some for your next meeting. So here are some free sites that you can get Lego challenge cards, and they have them do different things with the Legos, and they're wonderful challenges. Some are for younger students, some are for older students. You can find challenges where they have pictures that they have to replicate the item, but most of us have Legos rolling around our house somewhere, and so this is another great thing for a tub for another task that you can have on hand. Another fun thing that you can have them do is have them make you something. They want to make you happy. They want all your attention. You can't give it to them. Do the next best thing. Have them make you something special. So have them make you a scavenger hunt to do later. Have them make you a drawing that will make you laugh. Say, this is a serious meeting, I need to laugh after it. Or have them come up with 5 to 10 jokes to make you laugh afterwards. Or a flower that will brighten your day. Have them make you jewelry out of whatever art projects that you have. Have them make you a Lego bracelet. Have them make a tinfoil bracelet or a pipe cleaner bracelet. Or something out of paper, a hat to wear at dinner, and then tell them you'll wear it at dinner or do a fashion show for them later. Or they can do a fashion show for you. Art boxes. Again, this is bigger than you think and completely simple. You would do different things for different ages. Small art boxes, but you don't want to put all of your kit and caboodle in there. You want different ones for each time, so keep it very specific. So if you change out the supplies and the paper, it changes everything for the kids and they think there's something new. Put crayons and cut papers into 4 in a tub and have them create something. Do cardboard box. We all are getting them from Amazon or wherever. Keep that box intact and give them crayons and have them draw all over it. Or cut it up, cut the cardboard up, and then they have this really thick, and tell them it's a canvas, so it has to be special. Put colored pencils and paper and cut it into long strips, either long way or short way, and they'll come up with some surprising new art projects. Print out color pages, but choose printing up to 4 coloring pages on one paper to save paper. Cut them up, and then you have even more with less space. You have free coloring pages you can get right here, and there's also many other sources. You can also buy coloring books, but don't give them the whole coloring book. That's where people make the mistake. Tear it up page by page and put one at a time. Fold it up special, or lay it flat in a Ziploc bag with whatever crayons or whatever that you are giving them, maybe a sparkle something or a gel pen. It's more exciting, and then it's not overwhelming. Sometimes kids scribble in coloring books because they see so many pages, and if you have a son like mine, he wants projects done. So he used to do them fast if there was a big book because he thought there was so much to do. So only give them 1 page at a time. You know your kids, so younger kids may be able to do some of these too, but remember, you need to focus on your meeting and not whether they're making a mess. Markers and cut paper into circles instead. Give them gel pens and black paper. Give them pencils and cut paper into 4 squares, but staple it like a book. A glue stick, and have them do torn paper art where they tear it and they glue it onto the bigger paper, and they can make trees or they can make graphic designs with it. My next tip is a big one, and most kids have this and they can play for hours with this. Stuffed animal tasks and action figures. So have them read to their stuffed animals. Give the stuffed animals an air bath. So put them in a clear tub and dry wash them with a brush and then brush them afterwards. Stuffed animal at a vet. Put a whole bunch of stuffed animals in a tub, give them some doctor things, or have them just use their imagination. Go to the dollar store and get Band-Aids or Scotch tape as the Band-Aids, and they'll have hours of fun seeing all their patients. Make an obstacle course for their stuffed animals. Use things in their bedroom. You can also do stuffed animal school. Teach them how to do important things stuffed animals need to know. Next, paper airplanes. Younger kids make the airplanes ahead of time and then just do the test. Here is a whole list of ideas that you can do with playing crafts and things like that to keep you going. If you have an extra device or a phone, have them make movies. Younger kids can do this. They know technology. So you can do a picture scavenger hunt as we talked about. Here's the stuffed animal movies. And what I'm going to show you is my son. Here he is many, many moons ago doing just this. And he would spend hours doing these stuffed animal movies. And
one day in Sock Monkey office, they were displaying out the 6 socks. Oh my gosh, I want the 4
So there's one. And he also would recreate his video games that were his favorites.
Looks like it's time for me to check on the princess. Then I'm back on my long journey from me kicking Bowser's butt. Okay, let's go.
And you never know what you're going to get. And really and truly, after our meetings, we sometimes need a laugh, and these will definitely bring you a lot of joy to watch afterwards. And he did hundreds of these, and I ended up keeping them in my Dropbox, and we get a kick out of hearing his sweet little young voice, and he thinks it's hilarious. Do video tutorials. My son used to do video tutorials of how to build certain Lego things or something they're an expert at. If they make this tutorial, then they can share it with a friend or have a friend share one with them. Things that you can do with Hot Wheels. So Hot Wheels are usually on hand. You can put them in a tub with solo cups, and you build it up and have the cars knock them down, of course. Tell them to make obstacle courses. Use any other things around your house. Use painter's tape and have them, if you have tile or on your carpet, have them make roads and parking spaces and buildings in town with their painter tape that all of the cars can go around. And if you see pool noodles, grab one. If you cut them in half, these are instant ramps, and they have lots of fun with those as well. Clothespins. So clip clothespins to your favorite things in your bedroom, and then they get to show you their favorite things later. Put dots around a paper plate, and they have to match it, or put the numbers around and have them match the dots. You can do an alphabet one. So you can just have them do art with it, like this one right here, or you can make it more academic if you want. But truly, just having them put paper clips, you'll be amazed at how much a paper plate and clothespins, how much time it takes to do these, and then they have to put it away back in the bag. And that's the gift that keeps on giving. A final tip as I leave you. If they're making something special, anything that they are really proud of, they're going to want to show it to you during your meeting. Nope. If you set up an area in your house that will be the gallery or the museum walk where all their completed work is, they will think they're fancy and they will display it in a fancy way. This way, they don't try and show it to you during your meeting, and you can tell them that you will pay admission to, you guessed it, with tickets to view all their fine work. Tell them to display it fancy. And if you like any of the items, you just may purchase them if they are fine quality. This will help to have them spend more time on tasks and pay more attention to their work. And this also will let them know that they are going to get your undivided time after your meeting or work time. And they will get all of that focused attention that they're craving from you. Just make sure you let them know when this time is going to be so that they know to wait for it. I hope all of these things help you to have constructive, focused work time in a more successful way, or get through a meeting. It really works for me, and I hope it works for you too.